Court is in session and calls number 331106. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Joshua James Guidry. We have Mr. Joshua James Guidry, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Guidry, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidry, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Giles Cole. Mr. Cole, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, y'all.
That's good. And Mr. Guidry, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
Okay, Mr. Guidry, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Guidry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidry, you may put your hand down. Mr. Guidry, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about October 31st of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Guidry, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Guidry, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Mr. Guidry, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Because I'm guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is taking a while to come up. Okay. Now, Mr. Guidry, I have another document before me. This document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. And hold on a minute. On page, see. On page 2 of this document, which is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1, there are a set of initials on the first line, and that line has a box that's titled guilty. Are these your initials? Did you place your initials on this line?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled the trial court's certification of the defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature at the bottom of this document above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, Mr. Guidry, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Guidry, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Guidry, prior to signing and initialing all of these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 is admitted. Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Mr. Guidry. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Guidry, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidry, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 10 days time served with court costs, tax, and retired.
Mr. Guidry, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 10 days in jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $327, but you will not have to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Guidry, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidry, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Guidry, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Goodrich. Need my signature?
And Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
It's not, it's Blake.
Okay.
Hey,